Hello everyone, Pastor Bart here, and happy Easter. I am so pumped for what's about to happen. Before we get started, there's only one thing you need to know. Easter Jam is for everybody in your family. So if you're a teenager, this is for you. You too, college students. And if you're a younger kid, get ready. We're about to have some serious fun, and we need you to lead the way. Adults, buckle up. This is Easter like you've never done it before. No matter who you are, we want you to know that Easter Jam is for you. The only way not to have fun is to not participate. So look around. Is anybody missing? If so, hit that pause button and go get them right now. Because we're getting started in 3, 2, 1.
Easter, a time for fake grass, plastic eggs, these things, chocolate bunnies, and people dressed as bunnies. And then there are the weird parts of Easter, like fake grass, plastic eggs, these things, chocolate bunnies, and people dressed as bunnies, which is interesting. But what does all this stuff have to do with Easter? And if this holiday is about more than candy and wearing uncomfortable clothes to church and lunch with your relatives, what makes Easter happy?
Okay, hear me out. There are only two kinds of people in the world. People who love these things like me, and well, people who don't. I just don't get that though. I mean, they're so cute and sugary. Let's see how your family feels. Show me a thumbs up if you love to eat these things. All right, how about a thumbs down if you don't? Okay, all right. There are a lot of different opinions out there, but no matter how you feel about eating Peeps, you're going to love this game. Your family is going to face off in the greatest Peeps jousting competition of all time. I'm going to explain to you how it works, and then I'll tell you when to start. First, divide your room into 2 teams. Next, take 2 Peeps and assign them to a team. If you don't have Peeps, doesn't matter. Big marshmallow will work just as well. But Team A gets Peep A, and Team B gets Peep B. You can come up with cooler names than that, like Pink Avenger or Yellow Jedi or something like that. You get the idea. And you can also use a marker or a Sharpie to decorate your Peeps, to give them some personality. Like draw a mustache on your Peep or give them some mean eyebrows or a fancy outfit. Just let your creative juices flow. Next, you need to prepare your Peeps for battle. And what you need to do to make that happen is take a toothpick and stick it into your Peep as if it's a joust or a lightsaber or a sword. It just depends on how serious your family is about the competition. And make sure that the toothpick is facing forward toward the other Peep. And then what you're going to want to do is take and place both of those combatants on a microwavable safe plate. No social distancing necessary here. You want the Peeps actually to be close together and facing one another. Finally, it's time for the big event. Gather around and put the plate in the microwave, setting the timer to 45 seconds. You won't let it run that long. In fact, don't let it run that long. Then press start. Watch at a safe distance until the Peeps drop their toothpick sabers and one touches the other. The toothpick that touches the other Peep first wins. And as soon as this happens, you're going to want to stop the microwave. Trust me on this one, families. All right, it's time to settle this thing. Don't forget to snap a picture of that photo finish. It's go time. Press pause now, and I'll wait here. So how did it go? Who won? I want pictures. Post them on our Facebook page if you can, Willard CMA. I have to admit that this was way more fun than I thought. And also, this happened. Isn't that great? All right. Are you ready for another game? For this one, you need a laundry basket and socks. Lots of socks. Clean or dirty, it doesn't matter, as long as they have a match. If you need to go and grab those things now, press pause, and then I'll explain the rest. All right, got your basket and socks? Great. Now choose 2 people to play. You'll also need 2 people to be scorekeepers. To get started, dump all the socks on one side of the room. Don't worry, those socks are going to make their way back into the laundry basket in no time. But then place that basket on the other side of the room. When I say go, players will grab a sock and they'll go through the basket and try to find its match, and then they'll take those 2 socks and roll them up together into a ball, or it's kind of like an Easter egg. And then they'll take that Easter egg and they'll throw it across the room into the laundry basket, or Easter basket. The player with the most sock eggs in the basket at the end of the timer wins. If you don't have scorekeepers to help you count, you'll have to keep up with that number on your own. That means everybody's on the honor system, all right? Parents, I'm looking at you. Okay, if needed, press pause now to get everything and everyone in position for the game. I'll wait here. All right, everybody ready? Great. We're putting a 1-minute timer on the clock, and this Easter egg throwdown is happening in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, families, come back over here. Who won? I mean, that was wild. Whoever won gets socks. I'm just kidding. Adults, make sure whoever won the challenge gets a special treat today. Maybe one of these things. Okay, maybe not. I hope you're having fun so far. We're celebrating because today is Easter. If you don't know the whole story of Easter, that's okay. Today we'll talk about what makes today, maybe more than any other day, a happy day. But before we get there, I know that you have a lot of family and friends who would love to hear from you. And to make that happen, you have a few options. Pause this video and pick one of the challenges on the screen to wish your peeps a happy Easter. Okay, so I just got like 6 texts from my family saying Happy Easter. So thanks, fam. That was real nice. Even though you're celebrating a little differently than we ever have before, that's okay. Easter is still happy. And that's not because of peep wars or Easter baskets or chocolate bunnies, although those things are awesome. It's still happy because of what happened thousands of years ago at the first Easter. It's the world's most powerful story, and yet it's so simple. So simple that it can be told with laundry. Watch this.
In the beginning, God created everything. He formed people in His very own image. But then, we turned away from God. Sin entered the world, like a dark stain. Still, God loved us so deeply that He made a plan to rescue us. At just the right moment, God sent His very own Son, Jesus, to live among us. Jesus healed hearts and minds and bodies. Thousands gathered to hear Him teach. Instead of giving lots of new rules, Jesus turned things upside down by making it simple. Love God, love others. After 3 years of traveling and teaching, Jesus and His disciples entered Jerusalem to celebrate the Passover feast. Huge crowds gathered to welcome Him. But while the crowds cheered for Jesus, the religious leaders made plans to arrest Him. He was turning their world upside down, and they wanted Him gone. As Jesus celebrated the Passover meal with His friends, He told them that He would be leaving, but would return. His friends didn't understand. That night, one of Jesus' followers, Judas, led soldiers to arrest Him. The religious leaders gave Jesus a fake trial and then sent Him to Pilate, the Roman governor, who could have Him killed. Pilate found Jesus had broken no law and tried to release Him. But a mob called for Jesus to be killed. Pilate gave in and handed Jesus over to the Roman soldiers. Jesus was forced to carry the heavy beams of His own wooden cross. On a hill called Golgotha, the soldiers nailed Jesus' hands and feet to the rough wood. The soldiers and people who passed by laughed and mocked Him. But from the cross, Jesus asked God to forgive them. Finally, Jesus called out, "It is finished." Then He died. The earth shook. Rocks split open. Even the soldiers cried, "Surely He was the Son of God." One of Jesus' followers took His body and placed it in a tomb cut from the rock. A huge stone blocked the entrance. Jesus' friends were devastated. They had believed that Jesus was the one God promised, the one who would rescue them, but now He was gone. Their whole world had turned upside down. Jesus' friends stayed hidden in fear for 3 days. But early Sunday morning, Mary Magdalene, a close friend of Jesus, hurried to the tomb. She planned to anoint Jesus' body with special spices. As Mary neared the tomb, she saw the stone had been rolled away. The tomb was empty. Mary turned to see a man standing near. She didn't recognize him until he said, "Mary." It was Jesus, alive. Jesus told her, "Do not hold on to me. I have not yet ascended to the Father. Instead, go to those who believe in me." Jesus, God's Son, became like us to lay down His life. Through God's power, He defeated death for all of us, and sin was washed away. One day, He's promised to return, so we can live with Him forever.
Wow, I hear that story every Easter, and it always amazes me. I mean, God sent Jesus to the world to remind me that He is greater than anything that can go wrong in my world. I mean, the simple fact that Jesus came back to life is proof to me that I can face anything bad that happens. I like to think about it this way. I can because Jesus is alive. I can keep loving because Jesus is alive. I can be brave because Jesus is alive. I can have hope because Jesus is alive. Here's an idea for you. Take a few minutes and add to this list of things that you can do because Jesus is alive. I mean, answer this question as a family. How would you fill in the blank? I can blank because Jesus is alive. Pause the video and while you discuss that question. And when you're finished, meet me back here. Awesome. I love conversations like these because remembering what God has done in the past helps me to trust him with what's going on in my life right now. I hope that's true for you too. And I hope that you spend the rest of the day making happy memories with your family. To get started, here's one last challenge. For this one, you'll need to decide who's the technology genius in your house. Maybe it's a step-parent or an aunt or an 8th grader. Either way, decide who that person is now. All right? Got it? Awesome. As soon as this video is over, I want you to go outside and take a family Easter photo. You can be dressed up or you can be in your PJs. It can be totally normal with smiling faces or a silly one, with those filters that turned your face into a bunny rabbit. No matter how you do it, take a family photo and make it awesome. And then share it to social media. Maybe now more than ever, this is a time to celebrate and remember God's faithfulness and the hope that he gives us in Jesus. After all, that's what makes Easter so happy.
The greatest day in history. Death is beating, you have rescued me. Sing it out, Jesus is alive. Cross the empty grave, life eternal, you have won the day. Shout it out, Jesus is alive. He's alive. Oh, happy day, you wash my sin away. Oh, happy day, I'll never be the same. When I stand in that place, realize meeting face to face, I am yours, Jesus, you are mine. In this joy, perfect peace, earthly pain finally will cease. Celebrate, Jesus is